the next couple of weeks, we're going to be watching some videos that have to do with jobs in music, and specifically jobs that are related to theater and music. Not just theater as in musical theater or plays, but the running of a theater. So today we're going to see some interesting videos. There's a video called What Goes On at something like What Goes On at the Met Before a Show, and it is the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City, and people are preparing to put on a ballet. And so it kind of takes you through, points out some different people, different things that are happening in the building while they're preparing for the ballet performance of the evening. There is also a time-lapse video from the Royal Opera House in London, because while they're rehearsing one opera during the day, another opera is being performed at night. And so they rehearse the opera during the day, and then in the in-between time, when rehearsal is finished and before the opera of the evening starts, the stage crew and everyone involved in the backstage, behind the scenes kind of aspect has to kind of kick it into gear and change the entire set from whatever they were rehearsing the afternoon show into whatever they're going to be performing that night. And then after that, we've got some interesting aspects of the Disney Broadway musical Aladdin. So there's a video about Aladdin, the Australian touring production that went over to Singapore to perform, and the person who was in charge of making all that happen. And then there's a couple of videos about the Broadway side of it in New York City. You'll notice that nobody is wearing masks. All these videos were taken well before last spring, so do not be concerned. And then we've got somebody getting their makeup and hair done, that kind of stuff. They talk about the costumes. There's a lot of different things. So while you're watching these different videos, and they're all put together in one video, like in one big movie, but while you're watching these things, I'd like for you not only to notice the jobs of the people who are talking, but maybe the people who are behind the people who are talking, or the things that they show kind of quickly without really giving a lot of attention to. Because there are so many jobs and so many people involved in making every production what it is. And it's really cool and interesting to consider that some of those jobs are something that you could do. If you aren't a person who wants to be on stage in front of everybody and sing and dance, or if you're not a person who feels like playing an instrument is where you want to spend your life, but you really do enjoy being around music and, seeing performances and being involved in the creative process or in the way that music and different forms of music can be conveyed to an audience member, then these are wonderful opportunities, wonderful ways for you to still be a part of that process, but possibly doing something that you really, really like to do. So, not last week, 2 weeks ago, before break, was the Great American Teach-In. And so that's why we're going to talk about this week and next week, just so you can see like the amount of work that has to go into these things, because until you are a part of one of these productions, you never know. And being a part of one like I usually am here in Clearwater in community theater, there are a ton of people that make it work, but there's way, way, way more when you get to professional theater like Broadway or touring productions, things that you might see at like Ruth Eckerd Hall or the Straz or the Mahaffey Theater here in our area, or even on Broadway or on a stage in London or even Australia. So take a look and watch the video and just notice all those different people that kind of bring everything together. It's really interesting.